Here are some tips for planning and using alternative story forms in your newspaper. They're from David Arkin, Director of Newsroom Development at GateHouse Media. He taught at a NewsTrain workshop in Norman, Oklahoma in 2009.
Planning alternative story formats isn't a daunting task. It's actually really quite easy to do. First thing I'd recommend folks do is they kind of look around websites and pull from other newspapers ideas that they have for alternative story formats that they're fans of. So for example, maybe that's a question and answer format, maybe that's a people profile format, 5 things to know about this event, maybe an interesting way of covering an opening of a different event. So that's the first thing I would do, is take a look at examples you like. Meet as a group, and that would include all editors, people who are involved in the production process as well. Take a look at those formats and decide which ones best fit their newspapers. Pick those formats and build library items for those formats. So you build 5 or 6 templates that go in your library, and during your planning process I would take a look at those formats, have them printed out on a table, and as reporters decide what stories are doing that next week as centerpieces or other coverage, they actually point to those formats and say, okay, I want to do 5 things for that format. The desk understands that, it's part of the budgeting process, and it becomes you find a lot of efficiency there through that kind of planning. So planning alternative story formats is not difficult, but it does take a little bit of upfront work.
Well, we're always in our newsrooms looking for ways to be more creative, be more visual, do more with less time actually. And so he presented a lot of information about how to do things alternatively, breakout boxes, pick 5 things, Q&As, all kinds of formats that work really well for the reader and also work well for the reporter and for what we need to do. So these things are going to be very helpful to us getting the things we need to get in our newspaper in a timely manner and make them visually appealing and reader-friendly.
I really like his formats and the graphs, the graphics and all that, really eye-appealing. We think that would be really good for our readers. Plus, really gets to the point and doesn't drag out the reader's time.